Under the lights at Williams-Brice, the Gamecocks wrapped up spring football on Saturday night as they now turn their attention to the fall portion of their 2022 season. But going into this spring game, a lot of hype surrounding transfer quarterback Spencer Rattler, and he lived up to it, completing 8 of 10 passes for 79 yards, no touchdowns, but no interceptions. Following the game, both Rattler and Shane Beamer spoke about the quarterback's performance.
I thought Spencer did well. Operated. We had the play clocks going and really didn't have any personnel issues or play clock issues. We're pretty clean from that standpoint. Certainly we weren't showing everything, but it wasn't like we were limiting a whole lot either. There was nothing that we said offensively that we weren't going to do, like formation-wise or personnel groupings. There was nothing that I told Clayton, hey, don't blitz us or don't do this. I mean, he could run whatever he wanted, and there's certainly things that he didn't show defensively, some packages that we've used in the past and some new things we have. And certainly there's some things offensively that we didn't do a ton of, but, it was wide open if you wanted it to be. But I thought Spencer did a good job, made some throws and had some receivers and tight ends and running backs make some catches for him too.
We made some plays for sure. Obviously we wanted to have more explosives, but I think we ran the ball really well. We connected on some quick game stuff. Really for me, I was just processing it and getting through my reads and taking what they gave me. That defense has been seeing all of our plays the whole spring, so obviously they're going to have an idea of what we're doing, but we still got to execute no matter what, and I feel like, we did it at a pretty good level. I feel like obviously I wanted to go for it the first drive on that 4th and inches, but it's a spring game. That's Coach Beamer's decision, and, he's going to do whatever. But overall, we'd rather turn 3 points to 7 points, but that's what we got the spring game for. We're working.
And staying with quarterbacks, Luke Doty looked like the Doty of old, completing 7 of 10 passes for 85 yards and a touchdown strike to Chad Terrell, who also had a phenomenal game. 3 catches for 50 yards to go along with that touchdown reception. Beamer, after the game, speaking about Doty's performance.
What a story that is. I mean, for everything that he's been through, for him to, break his foot for the second time against Vanderbilt last season in October, and then to be out there right now, and he's been full go all spring, and to be running and throwing and doing the things that he's doing right now, he's a stud, and really appreciate Luke. And that quarterback's room is in a really good place right now. You got, 2 young guys with Colton and Braden. And then, Luke is still young, but kind of the veteran of the group. But Spencer's been great for all those guys, and Luke has been great for Spencer as well. It's a great, connection in there. And then to have Zeb, back in there as well with those guys. It's a good group, and proud of those guys and how they've handled themselves this spring.
Some additional noteworthy performances from Saturday night. Transfer wide receiver Antoine Wells Jr. was electric anytime he had the ball in his hand. Transfer running back Christian Bale-Smith, a.k.a. CBS, was able to find the end zone on the ground in this one. And staying with running backs, Rashad Amos, trying to make a name for himself in what is a very crowded and talented running back room. He had some sparks at times in Saturday night's game. And speaking of another running back, a guy that a lot of fans have been waiting to see. They want to see him take that next step, but unfortunately an injury 2 seasons ago has kind of derailed him just a little bit. Well, feeling much better now, Shane Beamer felt like Marshawn Lloyd was able to deliver, not just Saturday night, but throughout the entire spring.
Yeah, really fired up about him and the spring that he's had. Obviously, highly recruited coming out of high school, 2020, gets injured. He may tell you that he was healthy and 100% last year. I don't think so. I mean, to me, he never looked like the Marshawn, 100% Marshawn. But this spring, he's been on I've said it before to you guys, he's been on a mission and very purposeful about the way that he's worked since he came back in January. And I think he looks faster. I think he looks more explosive. We're continuing to emphasize to him what a load he is and how hard he is to tackle. And continuing to get north-south and run through people as well. But he's worked on his route running. He's worked on his pass catching. Thought he's had a really good spring. And, and he was out there tonight, the way we broke up the teams, he was out there with that second-team offensive line. But, he never complained. He just went out there and just ran the football. That was good to see.
On Thursday night, Shane Beamer shared during Carolina Calls that they are trying to build depth at the defensive line position. Not just the end, but the interior as well. Jordan Burch spoke after the game about some of the things that unit wanted to be able to accomplish heading into spring, and after 15 practices, he feels they were able to do just that.
Really getting after the quarterback, working our moves, and having like good communication together. I feel like we've been working on that pretty good. Zach Pickens, Boogie, all my guys up front. You can talk to them. We can like make calls for ourselves, because the communication is so good right now.
And how about the night for the walk-on from Camden? Joe Burns with 2 interceptions in Saturday night's spring game. The countdown until the regular season is on. We are just 20 weeks away until South Carolina kicks off a new season. Reporting from Williams-Brice Stadium, Mike Uva, Gamecock Central.